Welcome back to Racing Across America. Joined now by Ron Nicoletti, Gulfstream Park. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Seth. How are you today?
Very good. And for folks who are playing this afternoon, again, the Live Vicariously weather forecast, what's it look like?
It was a little foggy this morning, but it's clearing up. It's beautiful out. It's in the low 70s, and I think it's going to be a beautiful day. We got a fast main track, firm turf course starting today, so we'll see how things work out for today.
Nice, just to make you feel good. You're about 60 degrees warmer than us. And if it was yesterday, you would have been about 70 degrees warmer than us. A little brutal up here, but certainly we enjoy watching Gulfstream during the winter. You and I were talking during the break, update people. Once again, Rainbow Six hit, and you were telling me the ticket, that we had that crazy one a couple of weeks ago where somebody pulls down $300,000 for a $32 ticket, singled a $90 horse. That was the craziest thing. But it wasn't too expensive a ticket yesterday. However, our buddy Chuck Simon had a longer priced horse. The better yesterday had it, but wasn't singled quite, but did manage to come up with the long priced horse. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, he had all in that race. There was 13 horses in that race, and he nailed that. And every time, how many times have you taken all in the race, and you end up with the favorite in the race? So he got it, and $179,000 was a $130 ticket. It was from the main hub, so I don't know exactly, and it's amazing how they do this. I was watching, that's just one horse. There was another horse that paid $55. There was bombers all day long, So more power to him for hitting it, $179,000. So we start today again with the $50,000 guarantee, and we'll see how much we can build it up before it's getting hit way more this year than last year. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting because last year I liked jumping in at about that 500K mark because the consoles got so nice. And so I'm kind of sitting here watching, and they're getting it a little too often. Bettors are getting a little set. That guy, the other day, though, that guy who singled a $90 horse.
Yeah, I still haven't figured that. That's got to be a bad punch.
Yeah, jeez.
A lucky punch, should I put it that way?
Yeah, bad for everybody but him.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at some of the action for today, and then we'll wind up by looking at some of the Sunshine Million Stakes on Saturday. But I handicapped Gulfstream earlier on the handicapping program here on the network, and in the opener, $16,000 tags, they're going to go 7 furlongs. I took a look at the number 2 horse, Air Squadron, just because Navarro, first time off the claim. You also have this one dropping off the claim. I found those two factors significant. At large, I made my long shot play of the day at 10-1. This horse 1 for 1 on the dirt, so I thought that was interesting. Then I threw in Dad's Laugh as well, another good first off the claim trainer. But for me in the opener, I had a 2, 5, and 10. How did you see it?
I saw a 2, 10, and 8, and 2. The reason I usually don't start in the first race is that's my best bet, number 2.
Okay.
Turning back to 7 furlongs, main track, it broke from post pen, pressed the pace. I love speed on the grass, turning back to 7/8 on the main track. You mentioned the connection, so a lot to like there. And I was a little shocked when I saw the morning line, and it was third choice. So I don't think we'll get that. Use Dad's Laugh, but I'll go back and look at number 5 at large. Maybe I'll throw that one in. But I wanted to get that out because I'd like to give out my best bet each day.
Sure, absolutely. And at 9-2, if that morning line does hold up, that's an even better best bet. All right, the 7th race this afternoon. It is a maiden claimer at the 20 level. Fillies and Mares 4 and up, 1.1 miles on the grass. I used Famous Sting. Just it had the look of me, and maybe off of these last couple of races being primed to move forward. Race and Shine underneath, who obviously appreciated the return to grass last time, and then Quarla, who I just thought was in relatively good form in and around this class level. So for me, it was 8, 4, and 6.
Well, we got our exacto flip-flop. I went to 4 Race and Shine. It was impressive in defeat. Last race rallied 5 wide to finish second. That was a local debut. The trainer's Pat Reynolds. Orlando Pocachico will not be riding today. He had a spill yesterday, and he's okay. Everything is moving here. It was a weird one. The horse just ducked into the rail, bent the heck out of the rail and everything like that. But he's fine. He just got a broken wrist, or maybe not, just an injured wrist, So he won't be riding for the next foreseeable future.
Very good. Well, good to know about that, but we hope he comes back and is
it
on the
looked
mat.
Scary. I thought it was going to be worse. He's lucky it's just his arm or wrist, whatever it is.
The good news, though, tomorrow, Rajiv Murrah makes the comeback.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great. Rajiv's nice, a fun guy. I saw him in the summer. I mean, it wasn't the summer. Whatever the Gulfstream Park West meet was, the fall, and he came over to visit his brother. His brother was riding there, so I got to talk to him a few times.
Yeah, I've had him on the show up at Saratoga, and he is a nice guy, and it's good to see him come back because he was on the sidelines, a broken arm, 4 months, and 3 months rehabbing. Been working horses for the past couple of weeks, and so comes back with a ride tomorrow. All right, let's look out now, race number 9, and here was my best bet of the day. I took a little swing in what I think is going to be a competitive race, but in the 9th, nice little maiden special for 3-year-old fillies, 7.5 on the turf. I thought Wealth Creation. You have win early connections. Klarovich and Chad Brown, they're coming out of a 2-year-old sale. The horse worked a quick 10.1, attracted $250,000. I looked up some of the breeding. The dam produced a sibling called Sprint of Storm that won its career debut. Another one called Solid Lunar that won its career debut. So I think there's breeding and connections that are absolutely win early. So at 5-1, I made Wealth Creation my top pick, and underneath I used Right Decision, who Judd Mott and Bill Mott, the dam have to sight seek. I think this one might improve with the 2 turns on the turf, and Susie's Baby, who also a little bit of breeding and a couple of races at Churchill that showed some talent. So for me, I had it 9, 7, and 8, with, again, that 9 being my best bet. But I'll be intrigued to see where you went, and did you include the 9 in your mix?
I did not. I went with the 8, Susie's Baby, on top, making her local debut at 7.5 furlongs. She looked good. She responded to the blinkers last time out, finished third. She was only beaten 3/4 a length. Eddie Keneally does a great job here. Corey Lanity, just the daughter of Giants Causeway. I used the 2 Cosmic Harmony in second, who's 9-2 on the morning line. But parts from the inside. I had a solid performance last time out from post 11. She stalked the pace. She was leading past the 8th pole and just finished second. She was 47-1. It's 9-2 today. But here's the horse. I don't know how to pronounce it that well, but number 11 we'll call it. Tastibo, or whatever it is. It's a daughter of Desert Party. It's a half sister to a grade 2 stakes place, Dr. Chit, debuting for Christophe Clement. Solid pace and park workout regimen showing Joel Rosario in the saddle. And I think you got to use a horse like that 10-1 in the morning line. I like Christophe Clement at 10-1.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's a horse I looked at, but obviously you can only go so deep.
Right.
But the Clement first-time starter attracted a little attention for me as well. But that's the kind of race it is.
Right.
You and I are kind of overall, we've overlapped with the 8, but we're looking at some other horses. But I think it's one of those kind of races where bettors can have a lot of fun. I think it's a really fun, competitive race with a nice full field. All right, let's go to the weekend now. It is Sunshine Millions, which is tweaked up a little bit, going from the original concept of Florida versus California with alternating races, Gulfstream and Santa Anita. Now it's over at Gulfstream, and it is now Florida breds, Maryland breds, New York breds, and Pennsylvania breds. And we'll first up take a look at the Sunshine Millions Sprint, which $100,000 purse. They're going 6 furlongs. And, Happy My Way in here has those string of triple-digit buyer figures going back a little bit on the page. Yogi Berra comes in really lightly raced and probably has to step it up, but I just kind of think the confidence they're showing is interesting. Grand Shores comes in with a couple of race win streak, a 90 buyer figure, but a 4th-place finish for Brothers of the Time last time. Again, I think it's a short field, but it's kind of a fun field. What did you think in the sprint?
I went with Happy My Way, grade 1 stakes place sprinter. Look at this horse last year breaking from the rail, was second in this race. That was my concern, the horse breaking from the rail. But this horse, if you look down his past performances, has run well breaking from the rail. I use Grand Shores. Grand Shores, every time you leave this horse out, he comes up and jumps and gets you. So I just think he's the logical choice in there. And then I got the 4 Yogi Berra. I don't know. I love the name. And I want to Ralph Nick's barn got to step up, as you said. Done nothing wrong yet, 2 for 2.
Yeah, and again, it's a horse that's just intriguing. A couple of races so far, 2 for 2. Probably does have to step it up a little bit in a field like this, but you just kind of have to scratch your chin a little bit and think the confidence shows something. All right, the Sunshine Millions Turf, $100,000, 4 and up, going 1 1/16, as the name indicates, on the grass. And Ron, while we talk, going to pull up the Millions Turf preview. We're going to watch the number 8, Bad Debt, get it done as the 3 to 5 favorite. Bad Debt, of course, in on Saturday. Decisive Moment can show a lot of early speed. Iron Power with a couple of wins coming into this. The last up at Aqueduct on the grass back in November. I think this is kind of a fun field. How did you see the turf?
I went with a horse, the 7 horse. I took a little bit of step, a Manchurian High. This one cutting back to 1:16. 4 previous wins at this distance. Really a couple of solid performances going 1.5 miles. He won the Laurel Turf Cup. His third beat 1.5 lengths in the Grade 3 McKnight right here. Late striding gelding, tons of speed in this race. Sort of sets up for bad debt, as you saw in that race. But I'm going to go with the 7 Manchurian High, and then a couple of speed horses behind Reporting Star and Iron Power.
All right, and let's look out at the Sunshine Millions Distaff, race number 8 on the card on Saturday. $150,000 for fillies and mares going 7 furlongs. And, this is a fun field. I pulled up the turn back alarm from October up at Belmont. We're going to watch Dame Dorothy win. It's a fun race because I don't know if there's anybody who absolutely jumps off the page. I looked at Toasting, and Toasting for me is always a horse that I think is up in the mix for our friends over at West Point Thoroughbreds, and Toasting is going to run third in this turn back the alarm we're looking at. Dame Dorothy will be the winner. Dame Dorothy subsequently came back and ran third in the Comley. Again, it's one of those races where I think you can find some things to like, but maybe some knocks on a number of horses too. Where did you go in the distance?
I went with Dame Dorothy. She's cross-entered also in the Sunshine Fillies and Mares Turf in the next race, which I don't understand. I like her a lot here. I used Wildcat Lily, who's stretching out. Ran pretty good in the Sugar Squirrel behind a hard-knocking horse that's won a couple of stakes, a Merry Meadow. And then I used My Pal Christie. I was really enamored with this horse, but has not been seen in a long time. But Marty Wilson, 20% with the plus 180-day layup, but lots of questions in there. It's not as easy as Dame Dorothy on top. So you're right there. I think you got to go a little deep in your Rainbow Six sequence there.
And Sunshine Millions, filly and mare Turf, purse 100,000, mile and a 16th, race 9 on the program. Another one where I think you can kind of make arguments for and against a bunch. The New York bred Effie Trinket on a best day can go up and, run very well against this kind of company. Speed Seeker comes off a nice turf win over at Tampa. Marty Wolfson brings in Pink Poppy, who last time in the Tropical Park Oaks, the number was okay and was 7th, but 7th in a field of 14, beaten less than 3 lengths. The win before that over at Gulfstream Park West / Calder was pretty nice. So again, it's another field where it's tough for me to really focus on somebody and feel good about a horse. But what did you see in the filly and mare turf?
Tomorrow, Saturday, when you read my analysis, Pink Poppy is my long shot of the day. I don't know what the odds will be, but I went with Waterway Run, multiple Grade 3, stakes place Daughter of Arch, runs exceptionally well fresh, Chad Brown, lots of things to like, Rock on Baby, and the 3-speed skater, but absolutely one tough race to handicap.
Yeah, I agree. And finally, we wrap things up with the Sunshine Millions Classic. $250,000 on the line, 1 mile and an 1/8 the distance. Going to pull up the Millions Classic preview here because the first 2 finishers are entered in again on Saturday. As we watch the stretch run, there'll be number 4 East Hall over number 5 Wildcat Red, and obviously they're going to attract a lot of attention on Saturday. But also in there you have Godolphin and Kieran McLaughlin with Transparent, a horse that I think all of us as bettors have trouble figuring out. We go back to Saratoga 2013. This horse wins the restricted Curlin and then tosses in a huge dud in the Travers where the buyer figures move back significantly. But I think on any given day, Transparent stands a shot. But I think the race probably goes through having to make your decision between the 2 horses we're watching here, East Hall or Wildcat Red.
Yeah, and I had a tough time separating them. I went with the horse for course angle, Wildcat Red. 8 starts here, 5 wins. He won the Fountain of Youth. Hutchison was beaten neck in the Florida Derby. Loves this track. Here's my question, but him and East Hall never won at this 9 furlong distance. Then you look down at Nicky Zito's horse, Captain Cowboy, the only horse in the field to ever win at 9 furlong. Oh, no, not always win. The only multiple winner at 9 furlongs, 1-1. So 2 for 2 at 9 furlongs. These horses, I don't know if they'll get the distance.
Yeah, and that's interesting. And one of those 2 wins at the distance was last time in that Claiming Crown race. Right. So he's got to win at the meet.
He might jump up and do it again. Who knows?
Yeah. So we'll all have to say a little Hail Mary and walk up and make our bet.
Okay.
And Ron, absolutely, as always, appreciate the visit. Good luck this afternoon and as well on Saturday. We'll talk to you again next week.